What's up, everybody? How you doing? Cedric and CJ here, CRFP commentary, and we will be reviewing Monday Night Raw because this is Monday Night RAWish, and I'm gonna start off two things. One, if you want us to do this again afterwards, let us know in the comment section below. Number two, I found out I got a broken bone in my left foot. Didn't know. Foot been hurting for a few months. Didn't know. How did it happen? I don't know. No impact. Didn't do anything weird. I don't know. Have no idea.
Yeah, that's going to be a mystery.
That is, yep. And
something obviously happened, and maybe it was like,
Didn't know it, didn't feel it. Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We don't know.
All I know is I had on Bathong shoes, and I like them because they got a thick sole, and I don't wear them out. I just only wear them in the house. And all of a sudden, I thought, my foot is bruised. It's bruised. I thought the strap was holding it down and cutting off circulation, so it took a month or so. Got some new shoes, got some Crocs, blue Crocs. Pain didn't go away, and it's bad pain. A few months after that, get an x-ray today. It's 10:20 p.m. Get an x-ray today, and get the report, and it's like, you got a broken bone in your foot. And I'm like, well, damn. Really?
But all you can say is, well, damn.
That situation, I'm like, what the hell? Or
yeah,
something like that. And I was like, I woke up, I was like, she's saying what the hell about something very important. But okay, so that updates everything about us and whatnot. Okay, so let's get into this. The Raw after WrestleMania is supposed to be a big Raw, which should be as big as the Raw, every Raw since they got, on Netflix. But Netflix went back to Raw went back to, here's our steady norm. I was like, yeah, but okay, y'all. So let's dive on in. So Cena's music hits and the fans cheer and go into their Cena sucks chant, and I can't spell chant. It's CHNBT. So I don't. The N is so far. Nope. I left out the A, and I don't know where the B came from. I don't.
But they all weren't chanting John Cena sucks. It was a fair number of them that were like, not quite let's go Cena, but they weren't booing.
It was, it was a mixture. You could hear it. It was an odd mixture, but a mixture nonetheless. So Cena calls in the ring announcer. He's wearing the belt backwards. The announcer hands the announcer something to read, and he goes and he has to re-announce Cena because he's like, obviously I did this wrong. I made egregious mistakes.
Yeah, that's what was written on there.
Yeah.
He had to read it. He had to read that he made egregious mistakes.
And this ain't the first time the ref has had to, the announcer had to do this. There's been other times in other companies and stuff. Let's see. And I thought it was kind of comical. I thought it was fun. You could tell the announcer looking at him like, are you serious? Mm-hmm. He's like, all right. So he announces Cena. Part of it was as the never seen 17 and the last real champion. And I thought it was funny how as soon as he got started, Cena stood directly in front of him for the hard camera. He just got dead in front of him. Mm-hmm. I was like, that right there was high school. That was high school, maybe late middle school. Middle school for me was 7th and 8th grade. I was part of the last 6th grade class, so, the dying breed, man. 6th grade being elementary. I was the Dustin Rhodes of the 6th grade. We're the last. It's like, Nick Nolte. So,
oh, yeah, for real.
Yeah, don't he? You hear
Everybody got Nick Nolte. Everybody got gravel in their throat. What y'all doing in y'all off time?
The fans cheer this introduction, which is weird. Cena calls the fans out as dysfunctional, and the fans cheer him as he points out that just because y'all are cheering doesn't mean I'm supposed to forgive you. Is that how your family work? Is that how, point to a dude, is that how you work with your woman and stuff? Mm-hmm. And the fans chant, and it's not like he said, we're sorry. No, we're not. And then Cena points out to the people at home, it's like the fans are cheering, we aren't sorry. So, okay. So I'm like, I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying the hell out of all of this.
Mm-hmm. I am too.
Cena makes two of us. Are y'all enjoying that? What Cena's doing?
Mm-hmm.
Cena makes sure the fans are meaningless. It's like, y'all don't mean anything to me. Y'all are nothing.
Y'all can say what you want to me. Y'all been hurting me for 25 years, man. You can't hurt me no more.
Yep. Cena drives it home how fast time flies and that he dates everything. Okay? He's like, I did Royal Rumble. Let's see what, Saturday Night's Main Event. Did Royal Rumble. And then Elimination Chamber. Las Vegas. He's like, what was it, 27?
27. He got 27 dates.
It's like, yep.
Not 27 matches.
Exactly.
27 appearances. All I got to do is come out to the ring and do this right here.
And that's it. I popped for that.
Yeah.
I popped for that. Cena went to pose with the belt to do something nice for the fans, because, I'm going to do something nice for you. No matter how mean you've been to me, I'm going to do something nice for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, all of a sudden, like a monster in the movie, there's Orton who rises up behind him.
Yeah.
The fans lose their collective ish, and Cena half shouts, shit, and
as he turns around,
shit, he catches an Ace Crusher. He caught it. Cena lays like a body forever while Orton parades around. Cena, it's like that, like the Ace Crusher just killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Others would have rolled from the ring if it was even after a big match and all this. But I was like, okay. All right, so he's gonna Uber sell that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that. Now next we've got the woman tag team match: Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Becky Lynch.
It's Raquel.
Raquel.
Yeah, the Q has got a k sound.
Okay, Raquel. It's not QU, is it?
It's QU, but it's not. It's not
Hispanic.
It's not a q sound. It's not like Americans. Raquel. No, it's Raquel. Raquel Rodriguez.
Raquel. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. Raquel. Becky Lynch versus, they're going against Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, and Becky and Lyra are the tag champions.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, why are you doing this so soon?
That didn't make any sense to me. Well, at the time, it didn't make any sense.
WWE has always done this. Their tag teams, they just throw them out there like, well, it's a title match. The fans will be happy with it.
But yeah, I didn't get it then. I get it now.
That they do it all the time. Even
Yeah.
if there's not going to be the ending that this was,
Mhm.
they just do it. The most meaningless people with belts, it's like, look, you're a king of the mid card or the low card, so you'll defend your belt because no one cares.
Mm-hmm.
A meaningful belt is protected, which is why Cody's belt wasn't defended so much.
Yeah.
And then when it was defended, the matches were like, 9 minutes? Something like that.
Some.
Depending upon when it happened. So it was a long match. It was a decent match, but it was a real long match.
But let me point out, when the bell rang, Short skirt McDuffie, a.k.a. Liv Morgan, was out the gate like a horse at the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, she was.
She was all over. She was wrestling the way she wrestled when she caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
She was wrestling the way she should have wrestled last night in that stupid lingerie red gear she had on.
Raquel, she did the same thing.
She did not, compared to what she did on Raw, she didn't even show up at WrestleMania. I mean, she was good. Raquel was good. I'm like, why didn't y'all do this last night?
Uh-huh. How y'all gonna go to WrestleMania and just almost, I guess what some would say, phone it in, and then you gonna come here and then you gonna show up? I'm just saying something's wrong with that. That's backwards.
You shouldn't fight like, man, I don't like what's finna happen. It's because you finna lose. Because people pay attention. It's like, oh, it's really not professional. It's like if you a doctor and you go to work one day and you just looking at skint knees, and so you're like, it's just skint knees. I'm a put some Vaseline on them and send them home instead of giving them some proper care. And then the next day you come in and you gotta do surgery on this celebrity and you on your top game. That's bull.
Exactly. You know, you show up every night. Show up. Besides, the way it used to, it seemed like it should have flowed. You go to WrestleMania, you put everything out there, then you go to Raw, and you're so beat up from WrestleMania, from that long-winded, beat-down match, you're not going to go like you should, so you're going to show some wear and tear. So yeah. Raw should have happened at WrestleMania, and WrestleMania should have happened on Raw.
Yeah, they were fine. They won't beat up.
Yeah, which you want to make the business look phony, you know. Look at UFC fighters, you know, back in the day, after a fight, they not ready to fight the next day. They got to for their life, yeah, but other than that, they're like, I'm going to chill at home. Got to recover. You know, bruised ribs, black eyes, busted something. Mm-hmm. Now, Lyra took a superpower bomb and recovered really fucking fast. She recovered so fast from that power bomb. Then there was lots of miscues, not botches, no miscues as in, you know, misdirections or, you know, things like false hits, false pins, that type of thing. Lots of miscues at the end, which make fans question the ending, you know, like what's going to really happen. Liv hits the finish on Lyra and gets the pin. And when she did, she put some stank on it.
She did.
She was all the way live.
She was jacked all the way up.
So we got new champs. That's cool.
The 4-time.
And then Becky, she hugs Lyra, and then she flattens her with a clothesline. Mm-hmm. And Lyra's looking.
Proceeds to talk shit.
And yes, the fans come up. They are so angry. Happy. No, they were cheering.
They were cheering?
Yes. Okay. They were cheering. And Lyra is on the mat.
They were.
Yeah. Lyra's on the mat looking pitiful.
She looking pitiful and scared.
Yes. I wanted to get in the ring and comfort her. Mm-hmm. It looked bad. That was old school wrestling selling right there. Mm-hmm. That drew me in. That's a rarity. Lyra looked so hurt, pitiful. And
they're supposed to be best friends.
Yeah.
You know? They're both
Lyra
from
was
Ireland.
mentored by Becky Lynch.
Yeah, they're both from Ireland, you know.
And she caught an earful. Becky leaves, then she comes back in and beat on her some more, and the fans are happy.
She put that thing on her.
Yep, Becky walks off, and then she comes back and gives her 2 Sambo slams. And then the fans chant one more time. Mm-hmm.
And she goes
the fans so heartless. Cena had called them out before for being so heartless. Becky, she delivers. The fans love her for beating down the baby face.
Yeah, the baby face who hadn't done nothing.
You know, and so my last note, which we already went over, the Raw match was the match they should have had at WrestleMania. You know, don't take the belts off just to bring somebody back and make them look good. Yeah. And then put them back where they belong.
It's silly.
So American Made come out, and the only entertaining one was the female of the group, but she's done with the group. She ain't breaking up, she ain't leaving, but you can tell she was like, I'm out here with this crap.
Yeah, Clark Gable's out there. I know his name's not Clark. Is out there going over.
It's like you hit something like Chad.
Yeah,
it's just Chad. Like, you know, an onomatopoeia in a comic book.
It's a sound. It's not a name.
The whack.
Yes. There's nobody here.
I didn't hear it at first, y'all. She did this to me.
So he's out there talking about how great a Grande Americano is, and you got the 2 dudes behind him who look like dudes out there. I'm not gonna say what I want to say. Out there, and they're, you know, bolstering and put the the two fingers. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. Victory, peace. I don't know. And she's just standing there. She's a mighty bite. She's built. She's good. She's hardcore. And she's standing there like all this crap is beneath me. You can see it. She look at Gabriel like, yeah, you just full of shit. She was like not giving a damn. And they were like, hey, put up the figure. She was like, yay, fingers.
Going through the motions.
She is not feeling it. It's
What's
like,
my name?
Whose
is it?
Yeah, this is not where I want to be.
So after that, the New Day come out. They cut a stretch food promo. Because it's nothing of substance. You know, it's rice and butter or salt. You know, you buy a bag of rice. That's stretch food.
You won't be hungry, but it's not very nourishing.
Yeah. And then Susie Homemaker come out and it wants them to defend the belts against Otis and Tozawa.
Oh, Susie Homemaker. Clark Gable's old group.
Yeah, I don't know who she is.
I can't remember what the group's name is, but yeah. It's the dude, the big dude that looks almost naked, and the Japanese dude. Yep.
And so we know that match ain't gonna happen. You know. But they're surprised it happens after being called they were called Minutemen, since at one point they lost to this team in 60 seconds. And then Rusev comes out to a great ovation. Rusev is back. Dang, I could not hold that one in. I was trying. New Day bails, and Rusev beats up the mid-card comedy act.
Yes.
And we now know where Rusev is on the roster.
In the middle. Stuck in the middle with everybody else.
He's going to be the unbeatable mid-card guy.
I guess he's going to get the IC belt soon.
Makes sense. Braun done moved up.
Supposedly.
That's what we assumed after.
Yeah, man, we assumed that he was well on his way. Yeah. So we'll keep assuming that until the end.
Yeah, really. Judgment Day, they celebrate, and Balor comes into the scene, and he's unhappy, and Liv mentions that, you know, we got the belts, the group looks strong, it's all good. And he's like, you know, yeah, all right. I'm like, there's dissension. He gonna do something.
Mm-hmm.
So, where can I put this thing? Hold up. All right. So, EL Sky comes out, cuts a short babyface promo, and you gotta wait because she, you know, English is
not her first language.
She's slow at it, but she gets there.
Yeah, she's doing what she can.
I'm gonna tell you what the problem truly is. Okay, this is short, but I want y'all to really think about this. Think about this. The reason, I'm gonna tell you why her promos take forever, like these reviews. But the reason her promos are the way they are is because she's trying to do a Japanese promo in English. And Japanese promos are meant to be inspirational.
Yeah, to everybody listening.
You can cut someone down, but you got to be inspirational to the people if you're a babyface. And it's not going to translate well, especially when there are terms that they shouldn't say. So go out there, say a few things, and let them know that's why you're the women's champion. They'll cheer, yada, yada. And then Stephanie Vaquer comes out. Vaquer?
Yep.
See, I didn't say Vaquer. I did the very first time because I was like, now, she comes out. Whoo! And it's the same level of promo. But I'm like, this is pretty good. Two different nationalities. English as second language in a Raw ring.
Yeah, because Vaquer is the NXT Women's Champion. And I loved her outfit.
Two champions?
That royal blue and that train. I really like that. And their horns.
Mm-hmm.
And they were behind her. La Primera. They were chanting for her.
Yep. She's the premier. That's what she is. I forget who else was the premier. Somebody on AEW.
Mm-hmm.
They were the premier athletes.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Josh Woods.
Josh Woods and the bearded dude. He was good.
So I'm just, that it just kind of brought that back.
He looked like Jay White but shorter and beefier.
Yeah. Let's see.
I can't
So-
remember.
Yeah, Valkyria comes out. Io said that she has beaten the best, so she is the best. And Valkyria says she wants to fight the best. So they won it. GM Adam Pearce comes out. He's like, y'all calm down because the fans are starting to boo him. And he's like, no, you want to make the match. Y'all feeling it? We feeling it? Y'all want it? Let's go. Get a referee. So Io Sky versus Stephanie Valkyria. And I'm like,
Why?
why you going?
This is not Monday Night Raw material.
And at the same time, you gonna bring your subsidiary champion. You saw how they treated a world champion from another company, but now you see this, and Sky is not on Valkyria's level in terms of in-ring ability.
She's not.
Sky has a lot of wasted time, movement, and her opponent has to sit there like an idiot to wait for her at least half the match. You know, and Io is.
It was a long match.
This match was extremely long.
It was a long match, and there was no payoff because it's like, okay, this is Raw. Io is the Raw Women's Champion. She shouldn't lose, but ability-wise, Valkyria shouldn't lose.
Yep. And I'm like, where y'all gonna go with this? Because this is gonna be neither one should lose. But as you said, the flagship belt should be the one that wins.
Yeah, and I was thinking count out, but not count out, but
a DQ?
No, time limit. That's what I was thinking, a time limit draw. But that would be so. So I didn't know
if
what
they did a
going
10-minute time limit and it went to a draw, then they would have to do the match again and then do it on NXT where it'd be another draw. And then they talk trash on one show, on the other show, on one show, the other show. Next pay-per-view, they settle it. But what would they be settling?
Yeah, that's what, you know.
Valkyria wins, she gains. Io Sky wins, she's gained nothing.
Yeah, so yeah, it wouldn't make any sense. So I didn't know where they were going with it.
I won a belt that everyone is trying to get away from to get up to the main branch.
Yay.
Yeah, so that don't make any sense. So, and Io was throwing something that Valkyria took.
Those punches? I think that's supposed to be punches, but they were like, what's the
It's supposed to be like a rising shote or something like that.
What's the move that Ken does?
Which Ken who?
Ken from Street Fighter.
oh yeah, the rising dragon punch.
I feel like it was supposed to be, but
without a spin or anything.
But no spin and no, effects.
Contact.
And no contact.
It looked like he was not even touching Stephanie at all.
But she kept doing it. And Stephanie kept selling it. It was terrible. I'm like, she don't know how to punch.
I was like, she's lifting her arms and Stephanie keeps falling on her back, but I don't see any connection. And it was a distant view. Maybe if we went back and looked now, we'd be like, oh, there we go.
No. We went back and looked. No. And she did it 2 or 3 times.
It was about 3 times.
It was like a failed video game move. It looked terrible. She does not know how to punch.
And then Stephanie, she hit the dragon screw out the corner. It's nasty.
Nice.
It's brutal, but honestly, it doesn't mean a damn thing. She doesn't do anything. It's a wasted move.
Only reason why she did it.
That's her part of her repertoire. She does it every match.
Really?
Yep, that's just her repertoire.
Oh, never mind.
Yep, that's she don't do anything with the legs. So I'm like, just that. Literally, that's like going to the body and not at least applying a body lock of some kind. Do something. Don't put the Jimmy on if you ain't gonna do some work. Don't put that on and turn the TV on and sit down and be like, I'm chilling. No. So
in case you all don't know what a Jimmy is, it's called a condom. Thank you.
I ain't saying putting Jimmy Uso on you or nothing like that. That's and for anyone that might be a part of that area, no, we're not talking about little Jimmy either. You leave the kid alone. Yeah, Ron Killings, little Jimmy. It's a thing. They know about it.
Okay, cool.
The match is too damn long.
Yes.
Not an overall bad match, but damn. Long, contrived Spanish fly that was hard to tell who did what to who.
I could see who did what. Io did the move, but she hit hard. If she had the sold, it would have been like, but you didn't take any of that damage, because you could see her hit and bounce off the mat. She had to sell. She was probably really hurting.
Probably, which I think it's just dumb to do that move anyway. If you're going to do that move, make it look like you are applying it. Don't look like both of y'all jumped and then a thing was done. It don't, you know, because if both of them sell,
Exactly.
So then Roxanne Perez, she attacks Io Sky. Julia attacks Stephanie. The match is thrown out. They attack the champs, and Rhea Ripley runs off Perez, and after a circle stare down, Julia bails.
And Rhea, she got a black eye, so she only had half makeup on. So her right eye was all done up with the eyeshadow and the eyelash, and the other one was just plain, no makeup, no lash, just the ring from the black eye. So she looked weird.
Yep, Ripley.
She looked weird, but she had on this bodysuit and she looked great as always.
Ripley hands the belt to Sky, whispers something, and leaves.
Like, I'm gonna take this from you and make you look like nothing.
Io
Goodbye.
Sky looked like she was ready to drop down to her knees and cry in the ring. She need to work on selling a different face. Because she looked like she needs some comfort from grandma, letting her know it's going to be all right, give her some milk and cookies, and like, watch some cartoons and shut up.
Yeah.
That's what. So next, Jey Uso, the new champ, he comes out with this new shirt that reads World Heavy Yeet Champ. I'm like,
Yeah. He came through the crowd. He did a little bit of yeeting. The crowd was live. He gets to the front. Dumbass McAfee standing up there yeeting. You know, everybody, yay, yee.
Cedra spotted a sign that said Hogan fears unions.
Yes.
Man, Ventura would like that.
There's another sign that said that somebody eats corn the long way. I think that was Seth Rollins. I think I saw that at the end. People like putting that up there.
Uh-huh. The fans chant that he deserves it and cheers him, and then chant one more time. They play the music a little bit. Sami Zayn comes out.
Jimmy comes out.
Tells him how proud he is. It seems like Sammy had to come out and promo for Jey, who isn't strong on talking. Jey like he was.
Jimmy like he still hadn't hit him yet.
See, yep. Jimmy comes out and he celebrates with him. And what I wrote last was Jey is still taking it all in. That's what it looked like. Mm-hmm. When the belt is still dawning on him. Like, I got this. Like, this is mine. You know, like, man. And Jey, he's a very emotional person. And I'm going to tell you right now, if they can work on that, make him the emotional champion, and he come out and fight his hardest, not what we saw at WrestleMania, but something better, something that's his own, that he would look dominant. He would. Later, Gunther comes out. He gets close to Michael Cole, knocks the headset off, shoves Pat down.
He's jaw-jacking him the whole time, and I don't fully know what he's saying or what his issue is.
I don't know what you're mad at.
But Michael Cole's talking back, and he gets up, and Gunther's kind of like, all right then, so what you want to do?
Yeah, because Michael, he always said, I'm just trying to do my job.
Yeah, and then Michael said, look, not for nothing, but I'm not the one that tapped out. Now, let's pause right there. If you got an angry dude in front of you who is already ready to pummel you, you do not poke the bear. You don't. Even if you're telling the truth, you have to take your safety into your own hands and shut up. And shut up. Michael Cole didn't shut up.
Nope.
So Gunther knocked the headset off of him, and then he grabbed him and he cinched him up in the sleeper very briefly. And then Pat McAfee, you know, like Mighty Mouse comes in and hits Gunther with a forearm, and then
Gunther beats him down, chokes him out. And all the king's horses and all the king's men could not pull Gunther off.
They could not pull Gunther off.
Gunther let go when he was good and ready.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, I had to know, this was too much to Cedra's delight. Get him! Get him! Yeah! Keep on him! Keep on! She was cheering.
I was.
If Pat McAfee died, she would have been like, cool. If he legitimately died on camera, y'all don't get it. She would have been like, all right, we ain't got to worry about that no more. It sucks for his family, but we ain't got to worry about that no more. She would have been cool. Pat McAfee got on both our nerves through WrestleMania and
goodness.
This night.
I do not understand.
He literally does commentary for the 10 to 14-year-olds.
Yeah, he is always yelling. Always yelling. There is nobody doing blow-by-blow commentary. There's nobody doing heel commentary.
What he says is nonsensical. He overhypes, oversells, over-sensationalizes, and it's to nobody or nothing. It's got to be for the kids.
After watching 4 hours of WrestleMania across 2 days, making it 8 hours, and then half Raw, I'm just sick of his mouth and his face.
Now, Pat was recovering. His friends then tried to get in there.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, yeah, you done got your ass beat, but, let me try to get in now.
They weren't trying to get in to help pull Gunther off of him when he was choking him out and not letting him go when he was turning colors. They didn't try to get in there then. After he was up and Gunther was gone, they trying to, man, let me get over. No, this is not when he needs you. He needs you when he was potentially dying.
Yep.
That was number one. Number two, they walked him to the back.
Yep.
They walked him to the back.
And he's all choking
and having to take a knee and coughing and retching and gagging. They're walking him to the back, surrounded in scrap iron and referees. Where are the medics? Why not have them come? If you're really trying to do a thing, they should have had the medics come out and carry him off. Check his vital signs. Check his oxygen saturation. Look like you're doing stuff. No, he got to walk back under his own power with riffs and scrap iron, coughing and hacking and yakking all the way to the back to the trainer. He don't have an ankle sprain. He had his wind and blood cut off. That's like medical facility kind of stuff. Yeah.
If you are so messed up from a choke that you can barely stand, you should not be walking on your own.
Nope.
You should be on a gurney.
Yes.
They should be putting oxygen to you.
Yes.
They should be wheeling you to the back.
Yes.
And they should have that crap off camera ASAP because it's supposed to be legit. Because you don't want the kids seeing that kind of mess all day. You don't want the women seeing that too much. And the guys, they'll be like, finally, that fool is gone in general.
But they did it and filmed every agonizing step to the trainer's room and then replayed it 2 more times.
Yep. Cole states in the back that his nose might be broken. He's got that modern rapper sound to him. He's got that stuffy-headed sound. And I'm like, I've never seen legitimate, real life and on TV, a broken nose with no bleeding from the nose.
Yeah.
I have never, ever seen it. I have never seen a broken nose without the nose looking bruised.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, come on, dude. So, get some Sudafed and going back out there, man.
He goes back to the commentary desk with testatory. I'm not going to let a bully stop me from doing my job. That's great. I like the message that's delivered.
Yes.
But the way that this was handled was not well concerning the whole McAfee part.
Yep. And
I ain't got no problem with what Cole did.
You have what?
I ain't got no problem with what Cole did.
Yeah, Cole, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine. It was a message. He didn't do a good job. Should have broke his nose for real, then let him talk through that. Then have some stuff up there to stop the bleeding and stuff. But the fans do the Euro style chant of Michael Cole, and because I don't know, they did that.
Yeah, they did.
Next, we get the Intercontinental title match, Dominic Mysterio versus Penta, and I'm like, I want to be like, as soon as he wins this belt, they're gonna take it off of him for the new guy. Normally that's what would happen. But something else is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote, I think Finn will cost him the belt and thus change something in the Judgment Day, although I wrote New Day. And the fans are chanting dirty, dirty Dom. And it's like,
they are so all about Dom. It's like, what? He couldn't even speak without getting booed like 2 weeks ago. I don't understand the change. They really must detest Finn that much.
Yep. Penta did a topic on Hito and hurt his hip. He couldn't no-sell it like he would normally. No, he got up like, oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord, that hurt.
Yeah, he was hurting. It looked like it was touching his tailbone. Oh, then when he went to the outside, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he felt that. And
then after a while, J.D. McDonough, he offsets Penta. That's the dude that messed up his lungs and stuff.
Yeah, he hit the announce desk and his lung collapsed.
Yep. And he offsets Penta. Dominic takes advantage. Tiger Feint kick, frog splash, 1, 2, 3.
And Finn's looking like, what
is going on?
I don't understand. And everybody, all the Judgment, they get together and they're cheering like, yay, it's great, we're all together. And Finn's like, yeah, no.
I'm like, the Judgment Day is slowly becoming the cool heel group, and Finn Balor is not a cool heel.
Nah.
And Finn Balor, look, just going on career-wise, screw all the, show business. I'll be worried because he's right now looking like the odd man out.
Mm-hmm.
And Finn on his own he's small. I just don't see him standing a chance.
Carlito looked at Finn and said, it feels like we have titles even though we don't have titles. And Finn looked at him like, eh. Finn looked at him like, I'm you?
Yes.
No, I can't be you. That's the way Finn looked at him.
Nah, I got to do something about this.
So, I'm sure there's more to come on that.
Now, they finally show Seth and Paul walking together. Paul is just a step behind them, and it looks like Paul can't wait to either take a bite out of him, as Cedra said, but for me, like, he can't wait to turn on him at the best possible moment. But I think he was going for, this is evil, and the crowd gonna hate us, and I am with this guy because he shares my vision of the future or something.
And apparently Paul gave him some clothing tips because he had on the best outfit I ever seen him in.
Yeah.
It wasn't made out of anybody's curtains.
Seth comes out, the fans are woeing. Seth is wearing this banana yellow suit.
It's a little brighter than that.
That one, huh?
A little brighter than that. It's got a hint more lemony in it, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't write banana. I'm just thinking about it right now. I wrote this. Seth is wearing a suit that one would usually see on an executive woman in the 90s.
Yeah, black tank top underneath it, black shoes. He looked good from the neck down.
I find it funny that Cedra says it's the best he's ever looked.
Why is that funny?
He's worn all of these extravagant, androgynously more feminine type clothing that you hate. He comes out in a woman's power suit and you're like, this is great.
Look.
Nope. You got to eat that.
I'll eat it. You know what he should have done is had on a yellow skirt instead and then legs oiled up and had some stilettos on. Then he'd earn some respect.
What the hell?
Yeah, man can sport some stilettos. Psh, I can't do that. More power to you. But if
he wore that, you've been jaw jacking the whole time and you know it.
If he worked it and them legs were oiled and he navigated them shoes like he knew what he was doing.
You would have been laughing at him.
Nope.
Just like anybody else.
No, I
You'd
wouldn't.
Been all up and down like, why would you wear that? You look stupid.
No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
I would have been like, look at them shoes. Look at them stilettos. Look at how he worked them shoes.
I know Cedra, y'all. I know her better than she know herself.
Shit. Like I said, he looked good from the neck down.
I'm going to tell you how good I know her. Tomorrow, she's going to go She's going to be walking around the house. She got to go do some things with her mom, hospital and stuff, and she's going to be wearing clothes.
I'm not going to go out here naked.
But I knew you was going to do that, though.
What the hell? That was moving on. What the hell? Never wear clothes.
See?
Of course I am.
And y'all sitting there in your underwear. I know what y'all doing. Y'all listen to the show in your drawers. Except you free balling it.
Doesn't everybody? Doesn't everybody?
No, I got a shirt on.
Oh, so do I.
So, Paul is announced as the wise man. So he's still the wise man. All right. The music ends and the fans woe a bit, and then they start chanting, "Thank you, Seth."
I don't know what they're thanking him for.
Then they chant CM Punk. And just as Seth gets the mic, which takes a while, the fans chant OTC. And Caesar's like, "Man, why don't you hurry up?" And I'm sitting here like, and what my thought was, I didn't write it down. My thought was the reason they're not hurrying up is because they want to let the fans get all this stupid out. That's all that's going on. Let the fans get all this out.
They can always find more stupid. You know that.
The next town. Y'all can be mad at me all you want, but John Cena's pointing that mess out. He is literally telling y'all what y'all gonna do and how bad y'all are, and then y'all go there and don't surprise them. You know, Short Skirt McDuffie sat there being a heel, beat stuff down, got cheered, and then Becky Lynch turns into a heel, beats down one of the cutest looking baby faces I've ever seen at that juncture. And she gets cheered, and the fans cheer her to beat her down more.
Yeah.
Someone just got knocked down. They look helpless, scared, and worried, and the fans say, "Get her again."
Yeah.
That is some nasty, dastardly shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
If Seth's gonna talk, get the talking done and move on, or just don't talk at all, because I don't want to hear it.
When you are the top star, you don't come to the ring without a little bit of milk.
Milk? I don't like milk.
See, that's why you couldn't wait.
Milk?
They got to milk it.
Bring a cow, then it'll make sense. At least you'll produce something and we waiting.
Then you got to Kenny Omega promo. Because you'll be watching them work the udders and come something. There's things being said, but nothing worthwhile.
That's what Seth talks about.
And
if there was a belt for memorization,
I couldn't help this, y'all. Y'all gonna have to forgive me on this one. I was stunned. When Seth took the glasses off, he looked like an adult version of the Young Bucks. That's what I saw at first. I was like, oh my God, they grew up. I'm just saying, I'm not just picking on the Young Bucks because they're doing everything they can to still look 20 years ago, but wow.
They're old and conservative.
Yeah. The fans chant "F you Heyman" and then begin booing. And look, they trying to blank F, but they're not doing it. Seth begins talking about his monikers and the fans boo him, and then he boasts slowly, like a waltz about himself. And then CM Punk music hits. The fans come up. Punk come out rapping his fist like, "Man, I ain't got words." You can see on his face, I do not have words. Mm-hmm. And Seth undresses and they get to fighting. Because that says, I am not messing up this jacket.
He undresses.
Punk threw some, and I like how he did it, because once they got to a spot in the corner, Punk, he threw some legit looking strikes, but they pretty much just hit the forearms only at a distance. But I like how Punk knows how to do that. He could do that at the right time. Seth goes down, Punk slowly turns step by step, and then lapels Paul Heyman. And Seth gouges the eyes from behind, puts Punk down, curb stomp. Paul has the mic and the fans chant they want Roman. Paul announces that they are concluding WrestleMania 41 and going to WrestleMania 42, as Seth is now basically the top dog in all of professional wrestling. and he's getting booed, and then Reigns' music hits, and to an ovation, Seth dumps Punk out the ring. Roman hits the ring, spears Seth, and then Superman punches Paul. Paul takes a sit down, fall over bump. Roman prepares to spear Paul, but a hooded man spears him, and it's Braun. I didn't know who it was at first. I was like, Punk is on the floor.
Yeah, really.
Braun spears Punk. Seth shows that they're united. It's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And I was like, Braun is being elevated now.
He is?
You'll learn. We'll get there. Braun tried to attack Roman on the outside, but he got stopped by a shovel uppercut. Braun did the signature ring run and speared Roman through the barricade. Roman is brought into the ring. Braun forces Roman to watch Seth curb stomp Punk, and then Roman takes the curb stomp, and then Cedric views the alliance as Braun being just a lapdog.
But yeah,
that's the end of my notes.
Let me tell you completely what I see. So Heyman gets up there and says,
it doesn't matter what you see.
And I'm going to keep seeing it. This is the top guy until WrestleMania 42. What does that get you? Oh, you're the top guy. You know what? In 30 years, when you broken down and not wrestling no more, nobody's going to say, hey, back in 2025, Seth was the top guy. No. They're going to remember who had the belt. You're not going to get into the Hall of Fame for being the top guy. Stone Cold was great, but he didn't get into the Hall of Fame because, beer. They put belts on him. You have nothing, and I don't care what you had. You did all this maneuvering and swerving and poor promos and quilt outfits and stealing of wise men to be the top guy. Then you recruit the guy who should be the top guy. You recruit the guy who should be climbing all up and through Jey Uso's ass to take that belt from him, and now he's your hired dog. Barks and all.
That, y'all, is 100% the fans' view of it. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong, but that is a 100% with someone, when you're the mark, you're the one that they're selling the product to. That's what they're trying, that's what comes across, because she sees different. She's not wrong. Anyone out there that sees it like that, it makes sense. It do. Now, here's what's really going on. Braun is still new. He's more or less, he's polished. He is. That's one reason why he's out there. But there's a lot that he needs to learn first.
Somebody need to teach that shit to Jay too.
Yeah. There are two levels of things there. But Braun is now working. He's not behind the scenes. Now he's working with the top people. So there's going to be tag teams. Punk and Roman are going to have to learn to work together because now they're going to top team it up. Gunther, I don't know where he's going with this, but he got his heat back that night, attacking Pat and Cole. Eventually, Pat is going to come out. He's going to challenge Gunther. He's going to lose. That's what I'm assuming. And if not, cool, because I don't really care to see him at all. I'd rather see Gunther or Walter, as some remember him, or Walter with the V-ish to the sound. Braun Breaker is now is right there in public. I am working with Seth, who is now trying to get his mojo back because Seth's mojo got pushed way down. And that victory at WrestleMania did not help him, but it did start a new storyline. So Braun is now working top tier storyline, main event level storyline. So this right here adds to the heel side. Roman Reigns is going to be forced to be a neutral babyface. So he's going to be on the good guy side with a little bit of possible heel tone because Roman's going to be Roman. So it's going to be tough. But this is Braun now going to work with the top tier people. He's going to learn far more pacing, timing. He's going to learn a lot more being in the right place at the right time for certain moves, how to wait. He's going to learn championship level promo and match style and things like that. The IC belt is used to see if somebody is well enough or whatnot. Allegedly, that's how it's seen or should be used if they're well enough to be top tier. And Braun would do things where it's like, this guy is explosively awesome in the ring, but not so much on the mic. On the mic, he can do well, but he's not good. He's short-worded. So they're going to bring him up. They're elevating him. This is them elevating Braun. And over time, if things go a certain way, Braun will break out as a babyface and he'll be able to do all that. But right now, he's under the wing and tutelage of Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, who have been there, done that, know this. And that's a good thing. Out in the public, out in the open. He's going to be an enforcer to a new king, and eventually, unlike Solo Sikoa, when Braun breaks away, it's going to be worth a damn. That's where I think it's going to be. Was that too long-winded?
No, it's just Seth sucks.
Why does he suck?
Listening to him is not enjoyable. Watching him wrestle is not enjoyable.
I'm all right with him wrestling. What's wrong with his wrestling?
He can wrestle. He did go to school. He learned his craft. But there's nothing that makes you want to see him. That's the problem that I have with quote-unquote modern wrestlers. There's no one that they don't do anything that makes you want to see them.
You done seen all the wrestling moves. You done seen them. So nobody's going to really do anything new that they can just do to anybody. We've seen some cool stuff.
Braun does.
Which is why you feel the way you do about him.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I can see him partnering with Heyman. Heyman's going to get you where you need to be. I'm not upset with Heyman.
It's the Seth.
It's the Seth. You said it. You said it. He looks like a grown buck. He wrestles like a grown buck that's too old to fly.
Okay.
I just...
What do y'all think? What y'all think out there? You know, CJ hitting the nail on the head? You know, is the money in the pocket right? You know, is the bank full? What y'all think? I think Seth would be a good mentor. I think Punk would be a good mentor.
Yeah, Roman Reigns to sweep up the corners. Yeah.
Cut the corners.
Sweep up the corners.
Here you go. She just gonna be a hater, y'all.
I'm hating. I do not enjoy him wrestling. And to be honest with you, I don't enjoy Punk wrestling either. His wrestling is not that much better than when he was in AEW. But he's so good on the mic. And he's got passion when he wrestles. So if with me, just me, you know, I can watch it. But man, Braun is it. Maybe I just like big dudes. Braun is it.
Yeah. Explosive, fast, abrupt, urgent. Get it done. Don't waste time milking things and just beat someone down. That forward, big, strong, heel type person is what you like.
And you can have pacing. Like, I love Sonata. Sonata's an outstanding technical wrestler with ring generalship and incredible pacing. But it's not exaggerated.
I
can't.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah, and then Seth was the exact same. Seth did the exact same thing for the last 6 months that Kevin Owens did without the wine.
Yeah.
Every promo, and you know I'm not wrong. Every promo, he said the same thing.
And the fans were in it. And you didn't like it, but the fans loved it.
No, they didn't love it. They were just happy to be there. They had a beer in hand. They could sing a song.
Sing a song.
They're out the house.
That's a lot of money just to go sing a song and be out the house.
Certain folks can't afford it. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yep. And with that, we need to get up out of here. So look, if y'all like this, leave a comment. Let us know. All right. And that's going to do it. So this has been Cedric and Cedric for CRWC commentary on Monday Night Raw-ish. We want y'all to be cool, be chill, be safe. So we can do what? See you next time.